basically the Kundalini energy, when it's not awakened or not stimulated, our life is completely horizontal. From the horizon of money to the horizon of money in all directions. The snake is just crawling like a snake, is as meaningless as a crawling animal. But then Kundalini can rise like a cobra. So we'll speak today about one of the most exciting aspects of the Tantra Yoga system, which is Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini, somehow seen in the tradition, or in the New Age movement today, is like the solution for everything. If you want to get enlightened, you want to have some real spiritual trips, then you awaken Kundalini, you shake a bit, and boom, you're done. You're enlightened, you can retire, you can dress in white like me, and fine, that's it. You don't need to work anymore, you don't need to think about how to be praised, you will always be praised because you are enlightened. And it's a very big oversimplification which exists today when we come to this concept of Kundalini. It is true that Kundalini is the energetical background of the entire spiritual path and of the culmination of the spiritual path. Basically, Kundalini fully awakened, fully risen, and staying up there, staying up in the crown chakra continuously is the state of spiritual liberation when it's 100% of Kundalini awakened and 100% up and 100% of the time up. Yes, that is the background of spiritual enlightenment, as in the complete dissolving of the mind in the universal mind, or the complete dissolving of the individual I in the big universal I. All these things, they are synonyms, and somehow Kundalini has this spark because it has a technical aspect to it. So for people who have a more technical mind, it seems very appealing. As for me, who have a technical mind, this whole structure of Kundalini was and still is extremely appealing. But as anyone who is walking seriously on the spiritual path discovers, whatever path you want to go, eventually you have to go all of them. You cannot awaken Kundalini and not purify your mind. Awaken Kundalini and not purify your emotions. Awaken Kundalini and not purify your diet, your body, your human relation, your attitudes. If you walk the path of Kundalini, you have to walk all the paths. As if you walk the path of devotion, you will also need to focus and also need to be pure. As when you walk Jnana Yoga, you also have to do Karma Yoga, and so forth. In the essence of the path of Kundalini, even if you take it as your major path, you will have to do everything. And you will eventually, if you want the full thing, you will have to sacrifice the full thing in each one of the traditions. You don't awaken Kundalini, get enlightened, and get to keep your ego. It doesn't work. You need to have the attitude, and you need to make the choice of attitude to go beyond yourself in order to awaken Kundalini. It's inbuilt, as we will see in the mechanism, that Kundalini will not awaken until we have made the choice to really transform. It doesn't work like that. If the motivation to awaken Kundalini is not correct, do breathe from all the possible nostrils and all the possible body parts and binders. What kind of yoga and all of that. Yes. So you can do whatever you want to do, but if you don't have the inner aspiration for transformation through Kundalini will not arise. The symbolism of Kundalini, as you know, is that of a snake. And it is not by chance. Yeah? There is a reason why Kundalini is not a cow. Yeah? Because it doesn't feel like when Kundalini awakens, you don't feel like a cow is slowly walking on your don't know what. It's not a fly, and it's not a grasshopper or an ant. Yeah, it has a very particular movement, which is a bit similar to that of a snake, and also the particular mystical symbolism of a snake, which can rise. Basically, the snake or the cobra, particularly, can rise from one dimension to another. Yeah, it appears to be completely horizontal. And basically, the Kundalini energy, when it's not awakened or not stimulated, our life is completely horizontal. From the horizon of money to the horizon of money in all directions, from the horizon of appreciation to the horizon of appreciation in all directions. This is the life where Kundalini is not awakened, when the snake is just crawling like a snake, is as meaningless as a crawling animal. But then Kundalini can rise like a cobra. And that symbolism, many people actually report when Kundalini rises. You can even have visions of such a cobra, sometimes tremendous, sometimes frightening, sometimes noble. That it's a sudden kind of, everything is horizontal, and then suddenly something is vertical. It's no longer just money and fame and fortune and news and family life and comfort. There's a totally new dimension. It's not going further to the east, it's going up, very different. And Kundalini does that shift. And we can see it, of course, in many traditions, with Pharaoh having the snake over there, with Moses turning the stick into a snake, yeah, not into a chihuahua. He didn't come to impress Pharaoh. Look, it's a snake, now it's a chihuahua, now a snake again, now a cat, yeah, now I don't know what, a spider. No, it was a snake because it is a very mystical snake animal, because it has this horizontal, vertical movement, and there is something, let's face it, hypnotizing and fascinating. It is also the power of life and so forth. We find that there's gods in the Mexican tradition. We find it in the symbol of Mercury and of Hermes that you see on every pharmacy. Again, it's a symbol of healing through this. They are rising snakes there, right, on the stick of Hermes. They are not crawling. The ascending power of the snake is elevated, and we find it in the Chinese tradition, in the rising of the dragon. Yeah, the symbolism of the dragon, which is a symbolism of sublimation, of elevation. The dragon that's normally crawling is now flying, is now free, is now vertical, which is a symbol that our animal nature, which only wants comfort, sex, food, and security, suddenly wants something else. Not that it gets more food or more, it wants something else. This is the symbol of the rising snake of Kundalini Shakti. So Kundalini is normally represented by a snake that is coiled 3.5 times in the bottom of the spine. Why, again, 3.5 times or not 18.25? There is a very particular symbolism. Again, we have the fundamental law of 7. Yeah, we have 7 notes in the octave, we have 7 rays of light, and somehow 3.5 is exactly half of that. It is the essentialized half of that. It's also very associated to the symbolism of pi. Yeah, so the particular symbolism of pi that takes the diameter of a circle, which again turns a line. How do you turn a line into a circle? You multiply it. You take the dimension of a line into a new dimension. Yeah, a line has like that dimension, 1 and a bit, and a circle has like 2. Yeah, to transform that, to move like we had from the horizontal snake to the vertical snake, we move from a line to the circle by multiplying the line in what? In 3 and a bit. Yeah. So to move from this, where our Kundalini Shakti is only going towards animalistic things, where it's coiled 3.5 times, it's only using 1/3 less than a third of its potential there. This particularity, if we want to do that, to move from a line to a circle, we have to multiply 3.5. Yeah, so this is why it is placed in this way. Kundalini will rise through the central nadi of the being, hopefully, through Sushumna nadi. And as you will see, it's like you have one train, one huge train, and one train line, and that train has to hit that train line and go to its destination. If you put the train of Kundalini on the train lines of the little city trams, it will smash the little city trams and smash the train Kundalini. So we have one energy channel that can take Kundalini in one direction. Any other experiment with Kundalini, as we will see, will result in all sorts of strange phenomena. This is in theory. In reality, when you awaken Kundalini, you make all sorts of mistakes. And you eat all sorts of things, and you get sick, and you get scared, and you have monsters and snakes coming out of your chihuahuas coming out of your subconscious. There's all sorts of strange phenomena happening because it's not so easy to open that particular energy channel in the middle of the spine, Sushumna nadi. And as you will see from testimonies, also even testimonies people from our school, many, and also in books, you get it wrong a few times before you get it right, and you need to get it wrong moderately. Yeah? As the first advice, you awaken Kundalini. For those of you who wish to follow this path, it's a fascinating path, and people who are serious are invited to walk it. It needs to happen very gradually, in a moderate way, and then you make little mistakes, come back, correct, until you have it right, and then you really amplify the energy.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.